Welcome to mathematics. We will continue the lesson whole numbers. Before starting the lesson, check the solutions for your previous assignment. First main, state the property used in each of the following statements. Question number 1, 19 into 17 equals to 17 into 19. It is commutative property of multiplication. Question number 2, 16 into 32 is a whole number. If you multiply 16 and 32, you will get a product. I hope you have done, and the product is like 512. That is also a whole number. So it is closure property of multiplication. Question number 3, 29 into 36 into 18 equals to 29 into 36 into 18. So if you look at the left hand side and the right hand side, you can find out it has been grouped in different way for doing multiplication. So it is the application of associative property of multiplication. Question number 4, 1480 multiplied by 1 equals to 1480. So if you multiply any whole number with 1, it gives you back the same whole number. So it is multiplicative property of 1. Question number 5, 1732 multiplied by 0 equals to 0. So it is multiplicative property of 0. Can you remember? If you multiply 0 with any whole number, the product always will be 0. I hope you all are correct. Second main, find the product by suitable rearrangement. Question number 1, 625 multiplied by 279 multiplied by 16. So you have to rearrange and multiply them. So here 625 has been grouped with 16. If you check the units place, so 5 6 it comes 30. But if you group with 279 with 625, then 5 9s are 45, or 279 with 16, then 6 9s are 54. So it is not coming 0 in any of the choices. Yes. So it has been grouped with 625 with 16, and 279 we will multiply after that. So here the property we used as associative property of multiplication. So please mention it. Now if you multiply 625 and 16, you will get the product as 10,000. Again you have to write multiplied by 279. So 279 along with 4 zeros is the final product. I hope all of you are correct. Second question, 8 into 291 into 125. So here the grouping I have done 8 into 125. Like the previous sum, you have to check the units place. If you take 8 and 291, then units place 1 8s are 8. If you take 291 and 125, 1 5s are 5. Whereas 8 into 5, if you do, then you will get the product as 40. So 0 will come in its place. So we will take 8 into 125 in a group and again multiply it by 291. So please mention the property, associative property of multiplication. So 8 into 125 gives you 1000. So 1000 into 291. So it is 2,91,000. Question number 3, 20 into 625 into 50 into 8. I feel this sum is very easy to group them. As you will see, 20 and 50 you will group in one part, and the other part will go for 625 into 8. If you feel that you want to do in some other way, you can try also. So as you have grouped like this, please mention the property, associative property of multiplication. 625 into 8 gives you the product as 5000. 20 and 50 if you multiply, you will get the product as 1000. So 5000 into 1000 gives you 50 lakh. Okay. Question number 4, 4 into 2995 into 250. So here the grouping, if you check, 4 into 2995, 5 4s are 20, it is giving you units place as 0. If you go for 4 and 250, there is also units place is 0, but 4 into 250 is a better grouping. So please try in the both the way and go for the best one. I told earlier also. So here 2995 you keep it aside and group 4 and 250 together. Yes. So if you multiply 4 and 250, you will get the product as 1000. It will be multiplied with 2995. So the final product you will get 2995 along with 3 zeros. Here the property you have used as associative property of multiplication. In my previous class, I have explained about the properties of whole numbers with respect to multiplication. I hope you all have learned those properties. So let's have a quick recap of those properties. The first property I have explained, closure property of multiplication. What the property says? Can you remember? You can repeat with me. Product of two or more whole numbers is also a whole number. In general form we wrote as, can you remember? If we take A and B as two whole numbers, the product A into B will also be a whole number. Second property we explained, commutative property of multiplication. According to this property, change in the order of whole numbers doesn't alter their product. What we have written in the general form, can you remember? If we take two whole numbers as A and B, we can write A into B equals to B into A. Third property I explained, multiplicative property of 0. What does it mean? If you multiply any whole number with 0, the product will be always 0. In the general form we told as, if you take A as a whole number, A into 0 equals to 0 into A equals to 0. Next property I discussed, multiplicative property of 1. It means if you multiply any whole number with 1, it gives you back the same whole number. If you take A as any whole number, then A into 1 gives you the product as A. Then I explained associative property of multiplication. According to this property, change in the grouping of whole numbers doesn't alter their product. In the general form we told as A into B into C equals to A into B into C, where these A, B and C are any whole numbers. I hope all of you are thorough with these properties and the concept of the property also. Let's start today's class with a small activity. To do this activity you need a unruled white page, a ruler and a pencil. What you have to do? Look at here. On this white page you have to draw this grid. Okay? Count how many squares are there in the grid. In row wise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In row wise 8 squares, and in column wise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 squares are there. Now after drawing, you just count how many squares are there. If you count continuously one after the other, you will get how many squares are there. Or in other way, if you count that 8 squares are there in row wise and 6 squares are there in column wise, then 6 into 8 also give you the answer how many squares are there. Yes? It is very easy. Now I have decided I will cut this grid into two parts. But how? I will take 3 square boxes in row wise and 6 square boxes will be in column wise as it is. Okay. Look at the arrow here. From this arrow I will take a scissor. After these 3 square boxes I will cut it from here till the down. Then what will happen? The left side 3 by 6 will be one grid, and on the right side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 by 6 will be another grid. You can follow me and do it with me also right now. I hope you have divided the grid into 2 parts. So look at the first part. How does it look? It is like this, yes? I have taken 3 squares in row wise and 6 squares as it is in column wise. So how many square boxes are there here? Can you tell me? If you count, you will get it, or 6 into 3 will help us to know that how many squares are there. Okay. Now look at the second grid. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 squares are there in the row wise, and column wise it is 6 squares. So how many squares are there? It will be 6 into 5. Is it clear for you? I hope all of you are enjoying the activity. Now I have a question, that how many squares are there in both the pieces? You got 2 pieces because we have divided into 2 parts. One is how many? 6 by 3, and the other is 6 by 5. Okay. So if we add 6 into 3 along with 6 into 5, can we get the total number of squares? Yes, we will get. So let's do that work. So total squares in both pieces, the first one we got from the first grid, it is 6 into 3, yes, and the next grid it was 6 into 5. So if we add them, we surely get the total number of squares in both the pieces. Now I have a question here. In the original grid, means we have drawn as 6 by 8, yes, and that grid has been divided into 2 parts as 6 by 3 and 6 by 5. So can we tell that 6 by 8 is equals to 6 by 3 plus 6 by 5? So I have written my question very clearly here. Does it mean that 6 by 8, the original grid, is equals to 6 by 3 plus 6 by 5? As we have counted the number of squares, so how many squares are there in 6 by 8 group? Are they same with these 2 grids? You just think on that. If you do numerical calculation, you will get 6 8s are 48. Here 6 3s are 18 plus 6 5s are 30. So 6 8s are 48 is equals to, if you do the number of squares for the other 2 parts, both will be equal. You please do count and keep it ready. But look at this expression here. The original grid, we calculated the number of squares as 6 into 8. Yes, this 8 I have split it into 2 parts as 5 and 3. So instead of 8, I have written 5 plus 3. 6, I didn't change anything. So 6 into 8 has been expressed as 6 into 5 plus 3. Yes. So when we have counted the total number of squares for 6 into 8, is it equal to 6 into 5 plus 6 into 3? I have asked you. So if you have counted, I feel you are very much clear that they are equal. So we can write 6 into 8 is equals to 6 into 5 plus 6 into 3. Now instead of 6 into 8, can I use this expression that 6 into 5 plus 3 is equals to 6 into 5 plus 6 into 3. So therefore we can write that 6 into 5 plus 3, what we have expressed right now, is equals to 6 into 5 plus 6 into 3. I hope the previous activity is very much clear to you. Now I want to verify that activity taking this example. Here you can see three whole numbers as 4, 5 and 8. With the help of the previous activity, I want to write the same expressions here using these three whole numbers. So how can I write? I have written like this: 4 into 5 plus 8 equals to 4 into 5 plus 4 into 8. Now I have followed the pattern what we learned from there. I want to verify also whether they are equal or not. So on the left side of equals to sign is left hand side, and on the right of the equals to sign is right hand side. We will calculate, we will find out the final answer. If they are equal, we can tell yes, this expression is valid. So let's start the left hand side. The left hand side is 4 into 5 plus 8. Okay. So 5 plus 8 equals to 13. So we can write 4 into 13. 4 into 13 equals to 52. Now do the calculation for right hand side. So right hand side it is 4 into 5 plus 4 into 8. So 4 5s are 20 plus 4 8s are 32. So write it. Now do the addition: 20 plus 32. 20 plus 32 equals to 52. So you can see that left hand side and the right hand side both are equal because you have found the numerical value. That means this expression is valid. Yes. Therefore we can say that 4 into 5 plus 8 equals to 4 into 5 plus 4 into 8. Here 4 is multiplied with 5 and 8 both. So we say mathematically that 4 is distributed between 5 and 8. Okay. This is one more new property of multiplication, and it is known as distributive property of multiplication over addition. So this property is called as distributive property of multiplication over addition. Now we will express this distributive property of multiplication over addition in general form. So take A, B, C as any whole numbers. So how to express them? We can express them: A into B plus C equals to A into B plus A into C. Yes, I hope you are clear. Let's do few sums using this property. Look at the sum here. 297 into 17 plus 297 into 3. If you observe properly, you can see 297 has been multiplied with 17. Again that 297 has been multiplied with 3, in between one plus sign. So if I denote this 297 as A, 17 as B and 3 as C, can you tell me in which form it is written here? I'll make you clear. So it will be like that: A into B plus A into C. Right now I explained the distributive property of multiplication over addition. We got this form. So A into B plus A into C, if you know, then which form you can write? You can write in the form of A into B plus C. Yes. So here also we will write Let's try. So A means 297 into B plus C means 17 plus 3. Are you clear? I have denoted 297 as A, 17 as B and 3 as C. So it is written in the form of A into B plus A into C. So with the help of distributive property of multiplication over addition, I have written in this form, means A into B plus C. I hope you are clear now. So please mention the property what you have used. Next step is very easy. You will do the addition and it will be multiplied with 297. So it will be 297 into 20. Okay. So find the product. It is 5940. I hope you are clear. Look at this sum here. It is 81,265 into 169 minus 81,265 into 69. So what we have done in the previous sum, the difference is instead of a plus sign, here it's a minus sign. Okay. And the form it is written as A into B minus A into C. Yes. So if it is written A into B minus A into C, so from there we can think of A into B minus C, where A is 81,265, B is 169 and C is 69. Okay. So let's start working out. So the next step, what we can write? A into B minus C. So here the property what we have used, it is distributive property of multiplication over subtraction, because the sign is here minus, instead of plus it is minus here. So that's why it is over subtraction. Now complete the sum. What to do next? We will do the subtraction part first, and that difference will be multiplied with 81,265. Yes. Carry on. So it is 81,265 multiplied by 100, because 169 minus 69 gives you 100. So this multiplication is very easy. So it is 81265 along with 2 zeros. I hope you are clear. Find the product using suitable properties. Look at the sum. 738 into 103. If I ask you to find out the product, I know all of you can do. But here we will use some properties and then we will find out the product. Okay. So for that reason, we will do it in some other way. But how? Here 738, keep it as it is. 103 you write as 100 plus 3. Understood what I told? 738, keep it as it is, into, we will write, instead of 103 we will write 100 plus 3. Work out with me, you can understand what I am explaining. So what I told, 738 we didn't do anything. Here into symbol write as it is. 103 we wrote off in the form of 100 plus 3. Okay. Now look at the sum very carefully. If I denote 738 as A, 100 as B and 3 as C, we can find out the relation with some properties. It is written as A into B plus C. I am repeating, A into B plus C. Where have you got this kind of general form? In the distributive property of multiplication over addition. Can you remember? So if we get A into B plus C, we can write off A into B plus A into C. Yes? So please follow that way. So A means 738 into B means 100, and then plus A into C means 738 into 3. So carry on. A into B plus A into C. So 738 into 100 plus 738 into 3. So here we have used distributive property of multiplication over addition. So please mention that property name. Now you have to do multiplication and those product will be added up. So 738 into 100, find out, and then 738 into 3, then those two products will be added up. Do the addition. So the final answer is 76,014. I hope you are clear. Look at the sum here. 258 into 1008. So you have to find out the product with the help of some properties. Yes? How we have done the previous sum, we will think the same way. Here, look at 1008. So 1008 we can think of as 1000 plus 8. Yes? So please write it in that form. So we will write 258 into 1000 plus 8. So it is written now in the form of A into B plus C, where 258 is A, 1000 is B and 8 is C. So we got it A into B plus C. So what can you write from that? Can you? We can write as A into B plus A into C. Yes? So please write. So it will be 258 into 1000 plus 258 into 8. So which property have you used right now? It is distributive property of multiplication over addition. Now you will do the multiplication part, means 258 into 1000 plus 258 into 8. So please write the product here. So 258 along with 3 zeros plus, here if you do 258 into 8 you will get as 2064. So finish up the addition part. So the final answer is 260064. I hope all of you are very much clear with this kind of sums. Now we will solve few verbal sums. Look at the sum here. A taxi driver filled his car petrol tank with 40 liters of petrol on Monday. The next day he filled the tank with 50 liters of petrol. If the petrol costs rupees 44 per liter, how much did he spend in all on petrol? I am just explaining the sum. A taxi driver filled his car petrol tank with 40 liters on Monday and the next day he filled the tank with 50 liters of petrol. Yes? And the cost of per liter of petrol is rupees 44. You have to find out the total cost of the petrol he filled. Yes? So what to do? It's very easy sum. So first you have to find out the total quantity of petrol he filled and then the total cost he spent. Yes. So let's work out. So start the solution. So the first thing you have to write is total quantity of petrol filled. How much? 50 plus 40. Okay. So add 50 and 40, it is 90 liters. And the cost of per liter petrol is given as rupees 44. So you have to find out the cost of 90 liters. Okay. So you have to multiply 44 with 90. So the next statement you can write as total cost. It is rupees 44 into 90. So please do the multiplication. I hope you can do it. It's very easy. If you have found the product, please check it. It is rupees 3,960. Okay. So please write off the final answer also. Look at the next verbal sum. A vendor supplies 32 liters of milk to a hotel in the morning and 68 liters of milk in the evening. If the milk costs rupees 45 per liter, how much money is due to the vendor per day? So let me clear you. A vendor supplies 32 liters of milk to a hotel in the morning and 68 liters of milk in the evening. Okay. And the cost of 1 liter of milk is given as rupees 45. How much money is due to the vendor per day? Means how much money the hotel needs to pay to the vendor for one day. Okay. So what we have to do? Morning the vendor is supplying 32 liters, at evening the vendor is supplying 68 liters. So total quantity of milk is supplied in a day is 32 plus 68. Yes. You know the cost of 1 liter of milk is 45. So what will be the cost of total milk? If you multiply that quantity with this per liter price, we will get the total amount. Okay. So let's start working out. Now start solution. So first you have to find out the total quantity of milk supplied. It is 32 plus 68 liters. Okay. Do the addition and write down. So it is 100 liters. Yes. Now you know the cost of per liter milk is rupees 45. Yes. Cost of per liter milk is rupees 45. You have to find out that the total cost of the milk, means cost of 100 liters of milk. So we have to multiply. So write off total cost. So rupees 45 into 100. So very easy. So it is rupees 4,500. If you finish this much, then you write down the final answer. I hope all of you are very much clear. Before explaining the assignment, I want to tell you one thing. Whatever properties you have learned till today, please go through every day, because you need to be very much clear with the concept and you need to recollect while doing the problems. So please work on that. Here in the first main, find the value of the following. I have explained this kind of sum today. Second main, find the product using suitable properties. So I have worked out sums like this also. Third main, name the property. So recollect all the properties and try to work out. Fourth main, solve the problem. Here is a verbal sum. I am just explaining. The school canteen charges rupees 30 for lunch and rupees 8 for milk for each day. How much money do they spend in 5 days on these things? So first you find out the total cost for lunch and milk for one day. Then you find out the total cost for 5 days. I hope all of you can do. Thank you.